Come on down. You're the next contestant on Price is Right Wrestling. And since you bet the most without going over, you have your choice of prize. A terribly scripted promo. An even more terrible name that's just as bad as any of the names we given to half the goddamn roster. Over here is Index Honeymoon footage with the Garganos doing terrible comedy. Again, forever and a day that's never. And right over here next to it is a tag team championship match where the wrong team won. And right over here in the middle distance, almost where you can touch it, a women's championship match that had all the chance in the world to succeed, and they cut it in half because they don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. Or you could select a new car. What's that? You want a new car? We're all out a new car, so you get all that goddamn stuff. Oh, and more promos that are really badly scripted and terrible. And my God, what has happened to this fucking show? I'm John Renton with my review of WWE NXT 2.0. There are going to be some praiseworthy things on this show because there are some good things, but unfortunately it's mired in the creative quagmire giggity that has infested NXT in its nesting. My fucking goodness. Price is Right Wrestling, Press Your Luck Wrestling. Actually, Press Your Luck, it's unfair because they don't have whammies, they just have really terribly named wrestlers. They could probably succeed if they didn't have such fucking terrible names. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. I also want to say, if you guys enjoy this stuff, great. I'm not saying you guys can't. I just have realized that this whole revamp is really not working. I don't mind them trying to introduce new talents and trying to introduce new things and shoving as many talents out there as they can, but this was a fucking dumpster fire. NXT is really heading goddamn down the primrose path. It's heading into the fucking Earth's core. I really hope they can turn the ship around because there are a few bright spots, but holy fucking hell. I hate the theme song. Absolutely hate it. Oh boy, Hit Row. I love Swerve. Can't stand anybody else there. And I know there are some people who like this act. That's fine. It's not for me. There are just too many goddamn stables in wrestling, in WWE, anywhere. And I just don't care for this. I like Swerve, though. They got so much goddamn promo time because they had nothing for the show. And then, some of the other stuff they were doing indicated it's like maybe they should have cut this in half or not had this happen at all and just jumped to the match. But then again, oh boy, given what happened. It was Elektra Lopez with Legoland Phantasm at ringside, with taking on B-Fab with Hit Row at ringside. It's a no DQ match where the pinfall must take place inside the ring. Okay, cool. I understand them doing a no DQ match because both these women need more time and more seasoning and everything. And in the case of B-Fab, a lot more fucking seasoning. I understand that this is supposed to be developmental, and maybe if this was on the cock, instead of being on the network, now they're on the NBC Universal Cock. Cockaversal, if you will. Cockadoodleversal. The whole point is that would make more sense. This is on cable TV. This is, being broadcast to like a nationwide and worldwide audience, and this was not good. I understand they were trying to mask the weaknesses. This was not good at all. The weapon spots, they were just missing everything. And again, Elektra Lopez has a good presence, and maybe B-Fab will be good, but she's not going to be good here. And this is bad. This is one of the worst matches I've seen on TV all year as far as like cable broadcasts. I don't count YouTube. I count, like as far as USA, Fox, TNT, that kind of stuff. This was not good. I don't count pay-per-view because you have to pay for that. This was just so bad. The groups decide to brawl and everything and whatever. Then we go to the break and the Miss Kendo Stick stuff and all this. It was just bad. A catch bomb. 1, 2, 3. Elektra Lopez won. Thank fuck. Unfortunately, that means this feud's going to continue. And I don't know who the faces are. I know who I'm cheering for. I'm cheering for Legoland Phantasm because, again, outside of Swerve, I don't give a shit about anybody else in Hit Row. So let's get to something good. Honeymoon footage. Okay, well, they can't all be winners. Look, I've enjoyed the fact that Indy and Loomis have been doing everything they can to sink their teeth into this and maybe into each other. I'm not here to kink shame. They've been doing the best they can with this. Johnny Gargano and Candice are just not good comedians. I mean, and I know something about not being a good comedian, but this is badly scripted comedy. Terrible. It's not good. And also, I'm glad that Candice wants to still be on TV, but isn't she a few months along being pregnant? Shouldn't she maybe... I mean, I want the kid to be healthy and everything. We are still in a pandemic, even though things are getting better. But it was Johnny Sharkano. Oh no, Shark, it's like the last Shark. Only the last Shark had better production values and better writing, despite the fact it was an Italian knockoff of Jaws. I think it was Italian. But anyway, this was bad. This was really bad. He tried to scare him from like possibly having sex on the beach, but then they were going to go have sex in their hotel room. This is actual stuff they thought was a good idea to put on their broadcast. Oh boy, Joe Wayne Gacy is back. And he has not been canceled. And this is still our safe space and, triggered, inclusive, all this stuff and everything. so goddamn on the nose, it's like creative just snorted a goddamn line. And then some, and then some. And let's hear it for the inclusivity. He's like, I'm not going to use my fist, and I'm going to do this. And he said, I know we got a match coming up, and just whatever. It's not even that the gimmick offends me. I don't give a shit. It's a stupid gimmick. And also, apparently, this guy was a deathmatch wrestler, so that's going to kind of tune me out from caring about him, because I hate deathmatch wrestling. I think it's fucking stupid. But you know what? If he's happy with this gimmick, fine. I think it's dumb. So, Zion Quinn. Zion was the city that the Matrix crew was trying to get to, taking on Oni Lorcan. This happened. Zion certainly has a look, I can say that much, and he won with a forearm. And this was the same guy that beat Boa and then looked and saw the Grudge Ghost and said, nope, I'm leaving. It's also the guy that beat up some other guy that we have no idea who he was, being chivalrous, letting a couple women in that we didn't know last week. Because stuff's just happening on NXT now. Alright, so anyway, Grayson Waller talks about skydiving and skiing and snowboarding, and okay, cool. Is his hair different than last week? Because I swear his hair wasn't that dark. So MSK gets interviewed by Samantha. I didn't catch her goddamn last name. I forgot that they were the tag champs. It's not that MSK isn't talented. In fact, I think they get a bit of a bad rap because they are talented. Carter and Lee are very, very good wrestlers and can provide exciting matches. They've been a part of a couple, matches I've really fucking enjoyed on takeovers. And they'll be fighting champions. And the Grizzled Hung veterans are here soon to be rectimized. And then they're interrupted by Carmelo and Tricky Ticky Williams. I'm just going to come up with dumber names because at this point, it seems like a game where Vince McMahon hates wrestling fans and he's trying to push wrestling fans, away from watching his goddamn company so he can just get more people just be sports entertained. That only helps if you have entertainment. And let me just make this clear. WWE has a lot of positives going. There are positives in NXT. You just have to sift through a lot of the creative quagmire and a lot of the bullshit to get to any of the positives because this is like a bunch of kaleidoscopes, gutted and thrown at the screen, all human centipede together, because I have to get that joke in at some point. They're all interrupting. They're talking about this, and then Brooks and Jensen, I know that's not their actual name, it's Briggs and Jensen, but Brooks and Jensen sounds like a country band. And then they just have their promo stuff and brawl and everything, and MSK lands on their goddamn feet doing dives, because as they tweeted, they're cat dads. I can appreciate that. Cats are awesome. This was bad TV, though, is what I wrote, because you're just shoving people out there, all these long promos and all these brawls and all this bullshit. Don't even really work on Raw. Don't work on SmackDown. Now it's bleeding into NXT, and it's not exciting television. It wasn't exciting when WCW was doing it. It wasn't that exciting when the Attitude Era, what about the Attitude Era was happening? But at least those shows had a lot of people watching. Now it's getting to the point where some people are like, we don't want to watch this stuff. We're going to watch some of the older stuff or whatever. And that goes for companies across the goddamn board. Even New Japan's having a problem getting, a bunch of people to watch. And they're in the middle of G1 season. Anyway, Toxic Attraction interrupts Raquel because Raquel is going to be facing Frankie Monet tonight. And Mandy says that title will look better on her. And then Gigi tried to deflower Raquel on camera. News at 11. So the champs get jobber entrances. Io and Stark, by the way, which sounds like, Izzoli and Riles, or Rizzoli and Isles, I think was the name of it. Except that show actually was entertaining. Io is very good, and Zoe Stark is not entertaining. They're taking on JC and Gigi. JC and Gigi just sounds like a knockoff garbage band. And I mean garbage as in, I think I'm paranoid, not an actual garbage-sounding band. So, Women's Tag Team Championship match. The Tag Team Championships were a fucking mistake. They're a fucking mistake for the men to having all these goddamn brands, and it's fucking ridiculous. Because a team will win them, and then we will forget who the champions are because they have so many titles. So, JC has changed her hair. She's got dark hair now, and she's got a hell of an attitude. Gigi, well, she's got a good presence in the ring. Apparently not making the best life choices outside of it. And Mandy, I will say, is rocking the brunette look quite well. It does suit her. Io is very good. Zoe Stark, just whatever. They do die as we go to a break. Io needed to be called up a while ago is what I said. So, the tag titles mean nothing. We get a double crossface, shades of June 24th and 25th of 2007. Might as well cement my place in hell. And this got messy. And it really got messy. It's not even the fault, it's not even that everybody in this match isn't talented to a degree, though Io is head and shoulders above everybody else, and that's no disrespect. Zoe and Mandy, jaw jack and getting a bit of a shoving match. And a moonsault on JC, 1, 2, 3. Why did Io and Stark win? If you want to give a shot in the arm, have Toxic Attraction hold all the goddamn championships. Because to me, Zoe's not doing anything as a tag team champion. Io should have been called up a while ago, and it's just fucking ridiculous. Soy boy. No, soy, actually, soy food isn't all that great. So, boy, Rex Steiner sounds just like his dad. That's his fucking name, by the way, Rex Steiner. Braun Breaker's a stupid fucking name. It's a career stalling name. Rex Steiner is his name. He sounds just like his dad and Scott. You want a friend? Get a dog. That's a good line. This guy is going to be a main event talent very soon. He's already gotten it. He's only been training for a bit and just got on TV, to start the new brand of NXT, and he's already got it. Now, yes, he's going to have to be brought along, and I'm not saying he's perfect, but he's one of the bright spots. So is Toxic Attraction as far as, a presentation. So, Ciampa responds saying, message received loud and clear. It will happen sooner or later, but it took me 900 some odd days to get this, and you're going to have to, I'll kill you, you're going to have to. So Andre Chase took on Boa with the Grudge Ghost in his corner, and boy, USA must love this star power. And what is this? Why is Chris Nowitzki coming back in 2021? Boa means nothing. And smoke in the face, and Boa wins. Boa wins. Man, I don't know why. God, this is bad. And people are like, oh, it's like 2013 NXT. Yeah, and you know why they need to get on the network? So they could have more of a presentation that wasn't so game show like. And I'm not saying the 2013 NXT, 2012, 2013 NXT didn't have some good stuff. But trying to go backwards isn't going to work when you're on a cable broadcast. So anyway, more honeymoon footage. Gargano was doing more bad comedy. And then he goes into their room and finds a string of condoms about as long as my list of bad life choices, that is. And, oh no, what's he going to do with all those? That's a whole, what do you think he's going to fucking do? Reminds me of the Jesse Ventura line where Shivani talked about Warrior hitting Rick Rude with a chair, and he says, well, it's outside the ring. What are you telling me next, Shivani? You can shoot somebody as long as they're outside the ring? Don't know why I thought of that. Probably because that's when wrestling actually drew stuff, and that's me referring to something positive involving the Ultimate Warrior, which again, fuck the Ultimate Warrior. I'm glad he's dead. So Gargano is hiding in the closet and everything. And then, he hears, saying, hit me harder, Loomis. They're having a pillow fight. And then, we need to take a nap. And there's God damn it. And he looked high as hell, I'll say that much. And Loomis seems to be enjoying this, I hope. And they're doing the best they can with this. But Gargano's not a natural comedian. And then he comes out and Loomis sees him and just says, so anyway. So, Roderick Strong took on Grayson Waller in a Cruiserweight Championship match where Waller jump starts. We eventually start the match. And then Strong is great, but he's no magician. And it's nothing against Grayson Waller in the ring, but whatever. Strong wins. He wins. Cool. The Cruiserweight title means nothing because none of the titles really mean anything if we're being perfectly honest. So, LA Knight's backstage with a promo about Aussie Jones. He will face him next week, and Aussie Jones scares him. And then Andre Chase, he's yelling backstage, this is bullshit. Knight says, okay, I'm going to beat up this 400-pound guy. As it looks like Odyssey was having a mixture of laughing and selling his injury. But then again, it is what it is. I'd be laughing too if I was involved in this creative quagmire. Giggity. So, Dante Chen has a pre-tape talking about passion, perseverance, and precision. Cora Jade and Trey Baxter are backstage. There are a couple in case you didn't know. Good on them. Those crazy kids deserve to be happy. And Jade did talk about, the Jade generation, which actually isn't all that bad. And then lashing out with Lash Legend, who apparently was a basketball player. And shout out to Valena for telling me about this. She was a basketball player that the Amazon that confronted Cameron Grimes to the moon back, when he was doing the basketball trick stuff months ago. Okay, cool. They signed her. She did a pre-tape thing where I don't know why the audio was so echoey. It was like they used the first microphone in known existence. It was like a microphone back in the 40s. We're going to get Anderson spark plugs. The only spark plugs you need. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know why I turned to Emperor Palpatine. Okay, this wasn't good. And I'm not even saying that she can't talk, but I don't know why she was trying to be Wendy Williams. Nobody should try to be Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams shouldn't even fucking exist in this world for being toxic and stupid like she is. And I'm not saying that Lash Legend is. This is bad. Bad television. It's too comedic. I don't mind having fun in wrestling, but they're trying to make this too comedic when it's like, okay, if you're just going to have this kind of stuff, how are we going to take any of the wrestling seriously? We're just watching it as white noise at this point. Not even the good white noise. White noise 2 with Rob Lowe. Why was Rob Lowe in that movie? Nobody likes Rob Lowe. Poor Rob Lowe. What did he do? Moving on. Ridge and O'Reilly have a brawl, and Dunn joins them because O'Reilly gets Ridge from behind because he doesn't want to feel his thick club right in his stomach. Maybe some people do, because if you feel it in your stomach, then that means they're just going deep, and I lost my train of thought. They brawl. Dunn and O'Reilly have a match, and I actually wrote down, wasn't there supposed to be a women's championship match? Why is this match happening? Why did it also end by a roll-up 1, 2, 3 in about 5 minutes? Have they given up on Ridge Holland already? And then Heavy Metal Von Wagner Hammer decided to come down and save O'Reilly from a beatdown. Tony D'Angelo is on the docks. I don't know what's happening. Next week, Jones versus Knight. MSK, Briggs and Jensen, or Brooks and Jensen as I'll call them, the Grizzled Hung Veterans, and Mello and Tricky Ticky Williams are going to have an 8-man tag. And then we get Frankie Monet with Jesse Kamea and Robert Stone taking on Raquel Gonzalez. Why does she do the thing where she puts the belt on backwards and does a weird pose? I don't get it. I really don't understand how that's intimidating. I don't know what it is. NXT Women's Championship match. Not this gaining a lot of time. Not Monet having to play the heel because Raquel sucks as a face. Kicks in Spanish. I mean, they were kicking each other. They were also yelling in Spanish. And we get the one-arm bomb for 3, just out of nowhere. Seriously, out of nowhere. And then here's Toxic Attraction to attack Monet and co. And then they attack Raquel. Mandy is going to be the one to deep throat Raquel. I think I said that right. And that's basically it. That's it for NXT. These reviews are just going to involve a whole lot of jokes because what the fuck else am I going to do? And Price is Right Wrestling would like to remind you to control the pet population, have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.